What's up, everybody? You guys are getting two videos today because both of these fan castings concern the same person, and she is in talks for both of them, and one of them is an MCU character, and one of them is a character from the Harry Potter lore that they haven't cast yet for the Harry Potter TV show that's coming. So, we're going to talk about Voldemort first. So, Voldemort. So, there's a rumor going around that Cynthia Erivo is in talks to play Voldemort. I think this is a great choice. No, why do you think this is a great choice? And before I hear any haters, man, saying, a woman can't play Voldemort, shut the fuck up. Voldemort is a genderless being, bro. They literally say that in the Harry Potter books. So, Voldemort could be played by a man, like he was in the Harry Potter movies, or he could be played by a woman, right? And I don't know if they're gonna get Cynthia Erivo for Voldemort, right? But I think she would be a great choice. I really do. I like. You guys should all know how much I really like Cynthia Erivo, both as a actress and as a singer. I think she's top tier in both of these categories. And I think if they cast her as Voldemort, I like that choice, bro, because it's creative. It's a creative choice. It is a creative choice. It is a choice that would actually make you root for the villain. Like, it would personally make me root for the villain if you had Cynthia play this character. And yeah, so I think this would be an inspired choice. This Harry Potter series is filled to the brim with star power, bro. Like, even the kid actors, like the girl who played the girl who plays Hermione on the TV show that they're currently filming right now, is like, before she got this gig, you know what she did? She did, I don't know what they call theater I think they just call it theater in England, right? She was on the West End. That's basically British version of Broadway. She was on British version of Broadway doing, or English version of Broadway doing, I think it was Annie, bro. So this girl can act, she can sing, she can dance, and she can move, right? You guys know what I think of Broadway actors, bro. Cynthia Erivo is a Broadway actress, right? This girl is a Broadway actress. I think Broadway actors, Broadway singers, Broadway performers, theater performers are top tier in these two industries because they're like athletes, bro. They gotta do this stuff 8 shows a week, right? And stuff like that, right? They gotta do this stuff 8 shows a week. So I think if Cynthia Erivo were to play Voldemort, I think this would be a very inspired choice. It would make me very happy because I get to see Cynthia in more things. And it would be a character that both of these characters would be a character that she could really bite into and play for a very long time, because the Harry Potter TV show, there's 7 books, which means we're getting at least 7 seasons of this show. So, yeah. Now, let's go from villain to the heroic side to a heroic hero. Cynthia Erivo is also in talks to play Storm in VMCU because after Secret Wars, the MCU is really gonna focus on the X-Men. Now, if you were to ask me, hey Noah, I know you really like Cynthia Erivo, right? But which one would you prefer, Storm or Voldemort? I would still say Storm. I really, really, really want her to play Storm. Like, I really want Sadie Sink to play Jean Grey in the MCU, and I really want Cynthia Erivo to play Storm in the MCU. I really, really, really want. And why, Noah? Why do you really, really, really want Cynthia Erivo to play Storm? Bruh. If you look at Cynthia Erivo's career, I'm not just talking Wicked, because Wicked's a great performance, but if you look at Cynthia Erivo's whole career, right, from Wicked to her playing Aretha Franklin, to her playing Harriet, to her playing the Blue Fairy in the Pinocchio movie with Tom Hanks, to her Broadway work, to her playing in The Color Purple, to her playing her playing Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ the Superstar. That's a Broadway production of a play, right? What has she always played? Strong, badass women. What is Storm? Strong, badass women, or a woman that needs to put the fear of God into people when she gets angry, bro. You don't believe me? Watch X-Men 97. Shout out to that show. Can't wait for season 2 coming next year. And when Storm gets angry, she puts the fear of God into people. Like, I am the god of the weather. You gonna respect me, boy. Cynthia Erivo would kill that. Right? She would kill that. Right? She would eat that up and give us probably one of the best performances of all time, just like Elphaba was, right? She would probably she would so yeah, guys, if she were to get either one of these roles, I would be very, very, very excited, right? Noah, why don't you think she can do both? One, because Harry Potter's a TV show, right? If she is Voldemort, then she's the main villain of that TV show for the 7-season arc, right? Now, Voldemort isn't, like, he appears in the first book, or they appear in the first book, but they appear in the first book, but not very much. So, if I had my dream world, she would be doing both of these roles. Why? Because I think that's how good of an actress she is. Right? But if I had to choose one, it would be Storm. Because I think Cynthia Erivo as Storm is my most inspired fan casting choice that I've ever done as a YouTuber. And I know I'm not the first one to say her as Storm, but bro, I really, 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 really want her as Storm in the MCU. Like, for me, that would be incredible. If she's Voldemort, she hasn't really played that many villains, right? Right? So, I don't think she's played any villains. I don't believe so. So it would be her first villain, And it would be a pretty good villain to pick up and play for 7 years, right? Right? Like, because they've basically cast everybody else in that Harry Potter show. They've cast Dumbledore, they've cast Hagrid, they've cast Hermione, Ron, and Harry. They've cast a lot of the professors. But they haven't cast Voldemort yet. So I've heard talks of Matt Smith potentially being in talks, and now I've heard that Cynthia Erivo is potentially in talks. I've also heard or seen on social media that she's in talks for Storm. Now, me personally, I would be excited if she got both of these, but again, if I had to choose, it would be Storm for me, because for me, like, like, Storm, she would play Storm like we haven't seen her played before, right? Like, can you just imagine, like a scene where Storm is like flying in and she's like, I am the weather, and she calls down like lightning and just murks a bunch of fools. Oh my god, I want her to be Storm so bad. But if she was Voldemort, bro, if she was Voldemort, it would be insanely good as well. So, like, if she lands one of these roles, or both of them, my dream world, she would land both of them. It would be incredible. It would be incredible. So yeah, like, but if I had to choose one, I would still choose Storm because, yeah, I would, I just told you why I would choose Storm, because I think she would be the best Storm that we've ever seen in any medium. I honestly think that. I think, right, and if they're doing something different with the X-Men and really focusing on those characters that didn't really get focused on in the X-Men movies, right? Like, I want Wolverine in the MCU. I want Wolverine in the MCU. I want a new person to play Wolverine after Hugh Jackman's done. You guys know I think Hugh Jackman's gonna appear in Secret Wars and Doomsday, right? But then I think he's done for good, right? Hope I'm wrong about that, but that's just what I think. And, like, so in the comic books, right, and as I always say when I cover these superhero things, as I always say, comic books copy and adapt, bro. They adapt. They don't copy off of the comic books, right? Civil War, the movie, is very different than Civil War, the comic book story, but they're both great, right? So what I would do, since we've already seen the origin of the X-Men, I would do like some older X-Men, so you would have Storm as like a teacher at Professor X's gifted academy, and then you would have like Jean, Cyclops, Logan, a version of Logan. I don't know if it would be Hugh Jackman or not, but a version of Logan. You would have Storm being older, but not too old. Like, Cynthia Erivo's still only in her 30s, right? So she would be wiser than, like, if they cast a young Storm that's 23 years old. But also, if you guys didn't know, And they can do this now because Marvel owns both of these characters, and apparently they're recasting T'Challa with Danson Idris, right? Shout out to Danson Idris, also great actor. Cynthia Erivo and Danson Idris would make a pretty good power couple as T'Challa and Aurora. Like, because if you guys don't know, Storm and T'Challa get married in the comics. Yeah. So, again, if she got either one of these roles, I would be ecstatic. If she got the Harry Potter role, I would be, like, I'm already stoked for that show, right? Because I think when you're adapting a book, TV shows work better than movies do, in my personal opinion, because you have more time to flesh out the characters and stuff like that. Just look at, and I cannot wait for season 2 of this show coming out next week, or it starts next week. But look at Percy Jackson, the TV show Percy Jackson and the Olympians. They have more time to flesh out those characters, and this is HBO, so they have like the Game of Thrones people working on it. They already have a stacked cast for the Harry Potter show. Adding Cynthia Erivo onto that would be crazy. Like, it would be crazy. So yeah, but the character I really want her to play, really, really want her to play, if you can tell by my tone, is Storm. I really want Cynthia Erivo to play Storm. And I've heard some people, I'm not going to name names because I don't judge people's opinions. I've heard some people be like, Cynthia shouldn't play Storm. A wrestler who dresses as Storm should play Storm. Bruh, are you stupid? Cynthia Erivo's won an Emmy, a Tony, and I believe 2 Grammys, bro. She is one of the best actresses we have working today. You would rather a wrestler that's never acted in their life before play Storm over Cynthia Erivo? What the Dude. I'm not saying Cynthia's the only one that could do Storm, but I really, really, really want her to play Storm and stuff like that. But if she were to get Voldemort, I would be very, 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 very happy as well. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts on the 2 Cynthia Erivo fan castings that are going around. And, yeah. So, thank you so much for all your support, and I hope you have a great day.